Hi, I'm Pastor David with Declaration Church, and I know that for a long time, I myself and I'm sure many people out there in the world around us held to a specific ideology that I've found over the last several years to be inaccurate. It's not necessarily true, especially as we look at the world around us. It doesn't really fit with everything we see in the world today if we take an honest observation of the things that happen in the world around us. And the ideology is this: you get what you deserve in this life. You get what you deserve in this life. And that kind of ideology leads us to a place where when we see people's lives not going well, when we see things going wrong in someone's life, we look at that situation and we say, well, that's just a result of their choices. And in certain circumstances, that's true, but not in every circumstance. A lot of times, things are happening to us, and they are not the result of choices we've made. They're the result of other people's choices, the result of things that are outside of our domain of control. And it causes all kinds of issues for us. And I came across a verse that's very fitting for today. Today, as I record this, it's Good Friday, 2021, April 2nd, 2021. And I came across this verse as I was getting ready for some things that are going to be taking place later today in Isaiah chapter 53. Starting in verse 4, it says this: "Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we esteemed him, we regarded him, we looked at him and considered him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted." So we take a look at this individual, that this is prophetic of Jesus and his time here on the earth, and especially his last week and last days before his crucifixion. And we read these words, and they fit the New Testament narrative. They looked at Jesus in the situation as he was being beaten, as he was being crucified, and they said, oh, this guy, he's earned this. This is exactly what he deserves. And in reality, that was not the case. You know, we look at sometimes people when they have cancer, or they are sick with some other illness, or they lose their job and things like that, and we think, oh, they must have messed up somewhere. And that's not really a realistic picture of the world around us. It doesn't fit every circumstance, and it's the case here with Jesus. He was bearing our griefs. He was bearing our sorrows. He was carrying our sin, not his own. What he was going through was not a result of his own actions, not a result of his own choices. It was a result of ours. Verse 5, "But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the chastisement that brought us peace." So he was receiving a chastisement. He was receiving punishment, but not for his own actions, for yours and mine. And with his wounds, we are healed. We are washed clean. We are completely forgiven, and we stand before God as though we'd never done any of those things that we've done wrong, never made poor choices, never committed any sin, because Jesus bore that penalty. Jesus took that punishment upon himself. He was not stricken by God. He was not rejected by God. He was not refused by God for his own sake, but for ours. And so I hope that you see two things in this passage today. One, that when you see someone going through a difficult time, you won't try to find some reason in their life that they're going through that. You won't look at them and say, oh, you must have done something really wrong. You must have really messed up. Oh, you must have been a smoker. Oh, you must have done this. Or, oh, it's something in your past that nobody knows about, that you've done, that you're just being punished. That's not necessarily the case. Instead, look on those people who are going through difficult times, who are suffering, who are struggling, with the eyes of compassion, just like Jesus did. Look at them with the eyes of compassion. Show them love and empathy and sympathy, and comfort them and be a blessing to them. And then also take courage and celebrate that the punishment for the mistakes that you and I have made, that eternal punishment, has been carried by Jesus himself, and now you and I can celebrate the blessing of being a part of God's family. We can enjoy the benefits of living according to God's ways and his teaching and his law because of what Jesus has done for us, that we celebrate today. So be encouraged to be a blessing to others and to celebrate what Jesus has done for you and I today. Hopefully that's an encouragement to you. Hopefully that's a challenge to you today. And if it has challenged you today, if it has confronted maybe some things that you've thought in the past, and now you're really starting to rethink those things, go ahead and give the video a like and subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell so you're notified when new content is available, so that you can continue to be encouraged and challenged and blessed through the Word of God as we study it together. As always, I'm Pastor David, and I'm out.